Hello everybody, welcome back to the single player world. Today we are going to be building a ship, and it sounds kind of crazy because it is. It's a very big project, but I'm going to get as much of it done today as I possibly can, of course. So let me get to it. Let's just get straight into this, alright? Last episode, that was a cool episode. This episode is going to be even better because I've got some really big ideas for this thing, and I just want to start, as I say. So first of all, looking out this way here, we've got this little bit of the horizon that I want to be able to see this ship from. And I've spoken about the ship before, and pretty much what I want is I want to have the idea of the big, city on that side, the kingdom on that side, that doesn't belong to this kingdom, of course, that one of their ships is passing by from this side. Like, passing by, returning back home to wherever it came from. Maybe will be decided later in the future. We'll see. But I want it to just be on here, the horizon almost of here. So you can see it. It's very obvious, but it's not very detailed from this distance. But up close, it's going to be extremely detailed. We're going to go super crazy. And like, you could, for instance, make a fairly undetailed shape in the distance there, which could work very well. But I want this to look just as good when we get up close. And that's going to be very difficult. And specifically on the scale that I'm trying to go to. So let me try and get a little bit of an approximation of where I want it. I'd imagine probably around, almost pretty much here. Let me just check what's loaded in right now. That might be a little bit too far. Maybe in line with this island over here will render in. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be a very good place to render it in. Okay, so the ship that I'm thinking of, as I say, this area here is a very wealthy, clean-looking, as I like to refer to them, somewhat similar to the Imperials in Skyrim. That's what I think of those people there. And I want this ship to reflect it. So I've been actually thinking about this project for a few months. And I've been trying to come up with a good design in a creative world, because I realize that this is going to be an insanely huge project. And I haven't been able to come up with a full design, and I never really do. I never really like going too crazy with overdoing my design from start to finish. So I kind of just get a bit of a rough idea with pretty much every build that I've ever gone into a creative world with. I just get a rough idea and then I start doing a few smaller things. So I want to quickly, just to get you guys to see my process, at least with creating this thing, what I've done and how I'm doing it. So I'm going to go into my creative world real quick and we'll show you what's going on over there. And here's the design that we're looking at. I really do like this design. I think it's a very nice shape. And my strategy to working with this is to get the overall outline of what this ship's going to look like from a distance to be all ready. And I think this is a pretty cool shape. I don't know. I've been messing around with this for quite a bit of time. Actually, as I say, quite a few weeks, maybe even a month and a bit or so. Even, who knows? Who knows? It's been on my mind for a long time. And I wanted to do it really well. So this is probably about 30, 40, 50 blocks long. I don't want to turn around because I've got some other cool ideas behind me and I'm scared to give them away just yet. We'll get into them eventually. So pretty much what I've been doing is just working out the scales, how wide I want certain things to be, how tall I want these to be. And originally I was actually putting these masts. And by the way, I'm going to mess up my ship terminology. I am terrible. I'm going to refer to it as the right and the left side. I know that there are real words for it, but hey, forgive me. But pretty much I've just been trying to work this out because I don't want to go through this and have to tear an entire one of these things down, as you guys know. So what I want to do is just get the basics done in creative, and then in survival we're going to start playing around with it. So I've just done the outline. Now the next thing is going to be pretty much building this exact same thing in our world, which will probably not be that long of a time to create it. But what's going to be a bit more tedious is going to be seeing how wide I want the back to be, seeing how much I want the front to be, and how we're going to curve these in. It's going to be quite a big job to do the ship, but I think we both know that this is going to be an absolutely awesome thing to add into the world, and I'm really looking forward to just seeing it on the horizon there, looking so good. And I've referenced many ships, but what I want to quickly do is I want to go from here, we'll go into the survival world. So there we go, that's what we're looking at right there. And as I was finishing off the last clip, I was mentioning where I got a lot of inspiration for this, and I've been looking at some images of different boats, some real ships, my apologies, not boats, and in particular a few Minecraft ones which looked really cool. I was recommended to check out the Emerald Queen, and I would recommend if anyone's looking to build a massive ship, that's something to aspire to. It's not actually what I went for in the end, But I got a lot of dimensions from that, some proportions from that. And let me just go around here and try and get a good spot to show you. So I was a little bit lost in terms of, oh man, let me just do this. Make sure we're not listening to any of that sound right now. It's all right in small doses. So basically, I was actually putting these things very low. I thought that was a good height, but really, the masts have to be extremely high, like almost the length of the boat for it to look, the ship, my apologies, to look very, very good. And it's pretty much that, trying to work out how these are spread. And what I've learned is practically, you have them in thirds. That's what I've taken over there. So kind of in the middle of that third, in the middle of the boat, and then in the middle of this third over here, more or less. And then we've just got one extra one. And I think this is going to work quite well. The real struggle is going to come when we start adding in the sails. I think that's going to be the tough part. But what I've done is I've obviously just replicated this same thing from the creative world into this world here. And man, it's not very often that we see a sunrise, even a nighttime in this world. I tend to avoid them. But look at that shape. Look at that coming along there. It's starting to work. And you can see my strategy for these big projects. Seriously, guys, if you don't do this, it'll help you a lot. When you get lost in a big project, just start pulling little pieces together like this. Just getting the outline right. You can always fill in the ends a bit later. And I think that is probably the easiest way to do anything of this size, at least. So pretty much what I was saying, I've looked at different ships, particularly the Emerald Queen. It's a Minecraft ship, of course, built, and I think there's a schematic or something for it on Planet Minecraft. I don't actually have the link, to be honest. I was just looking at it online, but it's a very, very interesting ship, and I think I'm going to take a lot of my inspiration for the sails of this one to go on there, because it's definitely something to aspire to, take it that way. Although it's not the same design that we're going for. I'm going for a lot more of a, if you have a look at it, you'll notice it's more of a parody looking ship. I'm going for more of a, I don't know, clean look, I would call it. Maybe clean is a fair way of saying it, or a more wealthy look of a ship. Is that in the right spot? Have I seriously just put that 4? I think we can maybe do this one in 1. Yeah, that'll be better off being in 1. And also what I've done is, as I say, I haven't taken block for block at all, actually. But I've gone more or less trying to estimate what ratios that we're using of, for instance, as I say, the mast length to the ship length and all that. And I seem to think that this is a good length. In fact, let's quickly check how long this is, by the way. This is currently, we are standing on negative 450, and okay, so it's negative 450 to walk that way. Cool. Well, I was going to take the other one, but I always forget which coordinates go in which direction. So 450. Okay, it's already pushing 50 blocks. It looks like, yep, maybe even 60 blocks. That's a very long ship. Yeah, man, that is a very long ship. Okay, is that 70 blocks long? Quite a large ship. So I think it's going to have a lot of room for us to do a lot of interesting things inside here. Now, of course, I wanted to bring you in here so you guys can see it coming along. You kind of get that same feeling that I'm getting as we're building it, just seeing what's going on with it, seeing how I'm doing. Now, of course, look at that. That is looking so good. I'm very, very happy with that. The lines in the middle, by the way, do not worry. That's just me pulling them out there. We're actually going to be doing some interesting stuff in the middle. But for now, I think that's definitely looking really, really good. So what my next stage will be putting in the side pieces here. And I'm thinking what will be kind of cool is when I land down here, I'll show you, is going in over there with a nice bit of birch. And it sounds kind of weird, but birch planks, not logs, definitely not logs. Birch planks coming in on the side here. And you'll see what I mean when I get to it. I reckon it's going to look very, very good. So besides this, guys, I want to also just quickly say thank you so much for all your guys' support. Whether it be the Patreons, which the Patreon thing has been going really, really well. We've got a really, really cool stuff done on the server so far. In fact, just today we fought the Ender Dragon together. It's been a really, really cool thing recently, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. The other thing is that we also have had a lot of support on the videos, in general. It's always really, really awesome, guys, and I don't say it enough, but thank you very, very much. For you guys just participating and having a good time. That's really all I want to see, and I want to see you guys enjoy my builds. And of course, that does make me very, very happy, of course. So besides that, the last episode we did something a little bit different, and that was that cave. And there again, very, very awesome support, guys. And I can't thank you enough. As I say, it's a very very cool thing. Every time you get people who are at least saying they enjoyed it, or at least giving you some advice on something that you might have wanted to fix. So thank you very very much. Now, what I want to do with this is just get the shape right over here, and I'm going to try and pull this out. I don't know if I want to pull this out a little bit past here, or do I want to take it in here? Maybe I should refer to some ships, because I haven't actually looked at that just yet, but I'm thinking, I've gone 2 out there, I'll go 1, because I can't really do 2 like that. That's, just by the way, this is sort of just something I know out of experience. Don't do something like that. That's going to hurt you. If you do something like that, then you're kind of slowly pulling it, you know what I mean? You're slowly pulling this shape around, and then you can go for that longer length over there, something like that. I don't know, something like that. We're gonna actually, it's not gonna be birch there the whole way. I'm just using birch there right now. Yeah, that'll work. And then we've got 2 there. Then we'll just do 3 up to here, like that, including the one at the top. So we'll see what this kind of a shape looks like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue on with this. I just thought I'll bring you guys in, give you a bit of an update on the ship. We're going to get quite a bit of it done today. It's another very big project. And I started off last episode saying, why do I break off big projects? And I still don't know. But I do it anyway. And I'm having a good time doing it. So I'll be right back, guys. Okay, quick update. Just so you guys know what's going on before I go absolutely crazy and fill this place in. Pretty much the same thing as yesterday with the, well, not yesterday, the last video with the wiring of things and getting it all filled up. So currently, this is what it's looking like. Let me show you the shape, just hopefully quite slowly. If I go across here fairly slowly, look at that. Yeah, I think that's looking good. I think that's really looking good. Okay, this may very well be one of my favorite builds so far. It's just coming together so smoothly. As I say, the only thing I did in a creative world was the shape of that. The rest of this has all just been done in survival, which is fairly easy once I had that silhouette from this side. My real worry is, before I'll just quickly show you this before I go, is that, whoa, that was crazy. I don't know what happened to my, like, did the camera go crazy? I feel like it did. But yeah, my only worry is that it's a little bit too big in this area. Hopefully it'll look alright when it's done. If that's the case, you know what, we'll have to live with it. I think it'll be alright. But I think it's going to be extremely well detailed. And I've also got a lot of space in here for us to do a lot of stuff inside of it, which is going to be one of the coolest things. Because look at this. I think it's about 15 blocks wide or so, which is plenty of area to put in one of those little areas where stuff drops down. Barrels, everything on here. It's going to look really, really cool. Look at that, guys. It is looking so much better than I was expecting it to look. Man, I'm really, really excited for this. And I've said it a few times, but I really am. Look at that. This has been quite a lot of time that I've been working on this, getting the shape right. It still probably needs a few little touch-ups here and there, but don't worry. It's the main idea that we're going for. We're going to start adding a bit of detail on it, because I don't want it to be all just this plain, boring dark oak logs. Dark oak planks, sorry. We're going to change this up a little bit. So this is just a quick flyover. Let me just go over here. Come over here. You guys kind of get a scale of the boat. It's enormous. It is a massive boat, like ship. Man, it's huge. And I think we are definitely going to have a lot of things going in here. Look at this. Look at all that storage there. Look in the back there. We've got the ability to put in cabins. We've got the ability to put in storage stuff. And while I've been busy with this, actually, I've come to the idea that, what do I want the ship to be? Originally, did I want it to be a navy ship? Did I want it to be just a goods ship, like a merchant? I don't know. And I've kind of come to the conclusion that the best option would be probably something that's just like a general goods ship. I don't want to make this one into a fighting ship, because of course, then we do have the ability to put on cannons and stuff like that, but I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to get into this war thing in this area right now. I want to keep it just as it is, and we'll eventually play around. We'll see what comes around with it next. Actually, I probably, you know what, that's all right. I was gonna say, I probably should keep this here just so I know where the actual deck is gonna be, but that's all right. We're gonna change the deck around anyway, so that's fine. And this method that I did the ship with, by the way, was very, very useful, of the whole connect things together, bring them together, and eventually slowly but surely fill in the bits and pieces. Because this was one of the biggest projects that I've been worrying about, because it's obviously a huge, huge project. And I just knew that it would be very easy to get lost in. However, I haven't really been too lost in it just yet, so I probably should not be speaking because I'm about to get incredibly lost in this build. But I think we are going to we're doing a good job. We're doing a very good job. So my next plan for this area is obviously the sails have to come on, but we won't be doing them today. It just won't happen. But what I do want to do is I want to start planning out layer by layer. So I'll get a few layers done because I want you guys to be able to tell me what you think about the layers that I've chosen at least. Or the levels or whatever you call them. I'm sure there's probably a decks. Man, there's a ship word for everything. Like, there's literally every single thing. That's not left. That's not right. That's not the back. That's not the front. Man, there's something different for every... It's like a whole other language. Completely other language. Oh. Got that glitch in through there. And also, by the way, I used a bunch of sponges. I had to dry these out twice to get rid of all the water in here. That's how much water was in this place. So it's definitely a massive, massive task so far. Now, as I say, I'll get in with those decks. I think they are important to get done. And that'll also give us the idea of where, like, more or less what we are going to be able to fit in here. Because currently, I think we're going to fit in a lot more stuff than what I was originally expecting. And that is a good thing. That is definitely a good thing. I think we can't run out of space. In fact, if we had too much space, we could really even do something like this. Pull the walls out a little bit and then have space like that, but I don't think we're going to need that. I think we've got a very good amount of space in here, and I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna get straight to it. Here we are. I decided to do one of these cutout things because I think they're really, really cool. I always see them whenever I Google pictures of boats and stuff, and I thought, you know what, let's do one ourselves so everybody gets a picture of what's going on. I'm gonna quickly go up here quickly as well, just to give the full view. So, really, okay, that's actually not bad. That's not bad. Look at that. So we've got a level up the top there. That's where the steering wheel or whatever it is going to go there. We've got our top levels. That's the top deck level. And this is also part of the top. So we've got that going down to the next level there. That's the sub deck. And then one more down, one more there. And I think I can make this. I think if I use my wings, I reckon I can make that with my wings. Let me just give it one more try. If not, we're going to end a pearl over. So... So close. I know I can do it. Let me just do that. There we go. So over here, this piece over here, imagine us having the hoist to put down items here. So storage stuff around there, because this is going to be taking cargo. So there needs to be a way of getting the cargo in and out of the boat from the bottom over here to the top and vice versa. And I think this is going to work very, very well. Besides that, there's also got to be a spot now on the boat, at least, to have some spots for the people who work on the ship to stay. We need some places for the captain to have his office. We got to do all this sort of stuff. And then not only that, we also have to start thinking about where the windows are going to go and how that's all going to work. Let's see how this looks at night. We'll be able to see this now. That's going to look cool. If you have a look there, look at that. We've got this little bit of a spruce in the end. I originally said birch, and I did mean it. I think the birch just looked a little bit too odd, and you can see I've got more birch there. In fact, I actually went to cut down a bunch of birch trees a bit earlier to get ready for it, but birch was just way too light. It gave the contrast that I expected, and more. And more was the problem. And so the next main bit of planning is now somewhat complete, I guess. So what I've done is I've gone to another level of detail. We're slowly getting there. I hope you guys get this general trend that we're going for here. By the way, what we're looking at is a very raw ship. We're going to go do a lot more with this. So bear in mind, that's about to happen. But what I've done is you can see I've put in some more things here. So for instance, stairs going up this way. This is the front of the ship, by the way. And as we go down here, we've also got a little bit of a room underneath here, which is kind of cool. So I've put that in there. We've got the main deck here. I've also made this, by the way, I think it's the cargo hold, which is down there. I think that's what it's called. I'll have to double check that. I'm sure I'm going to get someone in the chat that knows about ships. I know nothing. So pretty much this over here, I've just made a little bit more interesting than a big rectangle. And then I've also gone ahead and added in stairs and this area here. So this will change, as I say. Very rough, very raw looking thing. But this is going to be where the crew's cabins are going to be. We're gonna separate, like, probably, let me actually just take this, just for a little bit of planning. We'll probably make them fairly narrow, so we'll do something like that, maybe. Very small things. And maybe just take it out here as well. And I'm actually, if I did, I'd probably keep this weird angle here, so we'd have some pushed in there and some pushed in there. And the reason for that would be just to make the room look a little bit more interesting. So it'll kind of go narrower and narrower. Just a bit of ideas, just a few ideas. In fact, I might just keep it there just for planning's sake until I get back to it. So that'll be pretty much mirrored on each side. I might do a little bit of something to take it off center because I've been trying to make sure that this boat isn't completely symmetrical. The whole thing from that side to that side is symmetrical in terms of when I built the whole ship itself, and that was very tedious. Looking at one thing, counting blocks on the other side, making sure they're equal, but it's definitely well worth it. You don't want a lopsided ship. Then, if we go up here, we've got this one over here, which, again, is not completely symmetrical, like that. And we've also got this one over here going down to the next level, and then to go to the next level, the very bottom level, we've got the ladder over here. So that's what we're looking at, and by the way, here I'm planning on putting in a bunch of livestock, maybe some cows, some pigs, stuff like that, bit of hay. We'll get to it eventually. This is super exciting. This is actually very, very exciting. I haven't had a build like this, I don't think ever, where I've built something and it's just opened up so many different things that we can build in here. I mean, we really could add one thing in here, one small section, and we could put that much detail in it. It could really even warrant an entire episode. Not that that's like the plan with this, but that is how much detail we can put into this thing. It's really going to be awesome. And by the way, I don't think I've shown it, but we've got a pretty good view of the shore from here. Look at that. In fact, if I just go here, details, and turn off the fog, it's a pretty cool view. But I like the fog on, so we're going to keep the fog. There we go. And then here, this part I really like the way this came out with these stairs going up, wrapping around each side of the captain's quarters. I don't know what that's actually called again. One little issue is that the main beam over here, the mast, goes up that way. And it's going to stay there, but I'm not too sure whether I'm going to keep this piece in here or not. We'll have to work that out eventually. It's not really too important. Then over here, of course, as I say, the captain's going to have his stuff here. I'm going to put in some windows here eventually. But we have to work that out. We have to work out how we're going to be doing the room first before I start doing that. That's very important. I think it's going to look really, really awesome. Then, of course, the top level over here, we're going to be doing something over here for the steering wheel. All's going to work out very, very well. And I am very, very, very happy with this, guys. I really, really am. If any of you guys have any ideas, I would love to hear them. I feel very inspired by this build. I hope you guys have got some cool ideas to add into this, or maybe go into your own world. But that'll be the end of this episode today. It's been a very, very big episode for me, guys, but it's been very, very worth it. So thank you very, very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.